Good morning, happy Monday. It is wild and wacky out there today, so if I look like I've been windswept, I literally have on my journey into work this morning, which is aka down my garden. So we have been talking a little bit about resilience for the last few weeks, and today's session is kind of wrapping that subject up because there are loads more subjects I want to talk to you about. So today I want to give you 15 strategies to boost your resilience. So if you haven't yet watched all the other videos, have a scroll down my page or go to the video section above and have a little look at the videos that I've put up over the last few weeks, all about resilience, because they're really interesting, and I genuinely hope they really help you, especially as women building businesses. So here are 15 strategies to help you. Number one, this is one that I absolutely did during the COVID pandemic. I think we were inundated with news and it was coming at us from every angle, and not all of it was accurate because we presume news is all accurate. It isn't all accurate. And actually, to be honest with you, it completely stressed me out. So I decided, as part of my way to handle it, so my resilience would be to just stop watching the news. And you know what? For the first time in my whole life, I no longer watch or listen to the news. I rely on my husband to tell me anything that's really important in the world that I need to know about. But other than that, I don't want to know what the newspapers are saying, what the internet's saying, what reporters are saying, because 9 times out of 10, it isn't all true. And I personally don't want to have a head full of negative energy on a day-to-day basis when I'm trying to live my life. That doesn't mean I'm not aware or sympathetic or empathetic or understanding to what's going on in the world, but we have to be accountable for our own selves. And resilience and being able to handle what goes on in our world, in our lives, in our day, is really, really important. And if one thing can help and support you, then you do that. And for me, I just no longer watch or listen to the news, which is very strange for me because I always have, since being a very young child, watched the morning news as getting ready for school or getting ready for work, etc, etc. Number 2, allow yourself to express and feel your emotions. Sometimes having a really good cry can actually be really good for you. And again, it depends on how you've been brought up. A lot of people were brought up, and me so, don't cry, don't cry about it, it's not worth crying about it, don't start crying, otherwise you'll go to your room, all of that kind of rubbish. And actually, why shouldn't your feelings be understood and appreciated by other people? We shouldn't be suppressing our emotions. We shouldn't be holding it all in, because we know that can actually be really dangerous for us. So now I went through cognitive behavioural therapy a good few years ago. It was brilliant, and I've had coaching and stuff like that. It's been brilliant. So now, if I feel like crying, I will just cry and I will own it. And if somebody dare say to me, "What are you crying for?" Woo! I can cry. Getting emotions out is really important. I will unleash my opinions on them, whether they like it or not. So crying can be really good. So never feel bad about having a few tears. Sometimes we cry through happiness. Sometimes we cry through sadness. Sometimes we cry because we're feeling a bit melancholy. And it's all fine, okay? So definitely allow yourself to feel and express your emotions. Number 3, take a walk and get moving. Exercise and moving can really help to up your energy, and also it releases endorphins. So if you are feeling like not having a very good day, try to get yourself up and out if you can. And if you can't get yourself up and out, as in you can't leave the house for any particular reason, then if you have an outside space, go out to the outside space, even if it's a veranda. Worst case scenario, if it's a window, go to the window, open the window, and kind of breathe in what's going on around you. But if you can get outside, in the garden, go and have a wander around the garden. Go and have a look at the trees, check out the leaves, check out what's moving around, colours and branches and flowers, and go and have a real look at how your garden is kind of changing as the seasons move. That's really, really nice to do. But if you can get out, a little walk, moving your arms, moving your hips, moving your legs, is really, really good for your body. And like I say, it increases endorphins, which obviously helps long term to help you with resilience. Number 4, remember a time in the past where you felt resilient. So you went through something and you found the courage, you found the strength, and you found the hardiness to get through that challenge, that situation, that scenario. I want you to think back to that time and think, you know, what happened to you in yourself? What were you doing? How are you thinking? How are you behaving in order to get yourself through that situation? So sometimes thinking back and thinking, oh yeah, that happened and I was doing this and I felt this and I changed this behaviour, and actually I think this, that and the other was what got me through it. Okay, because if you can link to what worked in the past, you can draw on that experience and utilise perhaps some of those tools, some of those skills right now. Number 5, talk to somebody you can trust. Have a meaningful and honest conversation. You know, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if things are going on, talk to somebody. You know, having a different perspective often really, really helps. Number 6, I wasn't sure I was being able to do that. Take some time off to recharge, unplug the electronic devices, and give yourself a moment to rest and relax. I know that I don't do this enough. It's something I actually have to really think about to do, but on a Sunday I definitely try to do this, and I also try to have a cut-off time every single evening where I no longer reply, comment, like, share on social media. So I kind of turn my phone off, if you want to call it that. So I try to put these boundaries in place so I can actually rest, allow myself to unwind, be able to sit and watch a bit of Netflix or go and have a lovely bath or something like that without thinking, oh, I must get back to this person, I must comment on this, I must do this, I must do that. So having some quiet time, it could be that a Sunday afternoon you sit on the sofa and you say, right, I'm having 2 or 3 hours, I'm just going to watch some telly. Absolutely fine. Okay, so whatever works for you. Number 7, think of somebody that exudes resilience, okay, and model his or her behaviour. So you might know somebody that seems to just bounce back and get up and handle life really positively, really well. Really stay close to that person, watch what they do, even have a conversation with them and really try to model what they do, because they can teach you so much by you observing them. Number 8, go within and connect with your higher power, whether that's through meditation or prayer. So really kind of tap into your inner self, like your soul, your being. I've got into meditation over the last few years, and it really calms you down. It calms down the nervous system, it calms down the running, chasing, chaotic thoughts, and it can really help you then process what is going on in your life, which then in turn helps you with resilience. Number 9, write it down. Writing down your thoughts and feelings can really help you feel where your journey's going, and it can bring you clarity. Again, this is something that I used to do, and actually I do this sporadically. I journal, and sometimes just getting it down on paper takes it out of all the chaotic noise that goes on in our minds. So, you know, writing down how you're feeling, what you're thinking about that day, what's bothering you, what's making you feel overwhelmed. Sometimes just getting it down on paper can create a massive shift and free up your headspace just to calm down, to process, and then to recalculate your thoughts and your feelings, etc. Number 10, reconnect with others and help build their resilience. So sometimes there might be a friend that's going through a difficult time, slightly differently to how you're going through maybe a difficult time, but when you kind of catch up together and you have a cup of tea and you sort of have a conversation, what's working for you and how do you feel and what did you do and how did you calm down and how did you unwind after that. You can help work with each other, you can bounce ideas off each other, you can come up with suggestions and try out different people's ways of doing things. So having that conversation with somebody else and working together, and you don't have to sit there and go let's work together, but having that conversation can actually really show you how other people work and how they build their resilience. I haven't enough fingers now. Be kind to yourself, have some compassion and ease up on expectations. This is one of my things. I try to not do this because it always ends in me being disappointed, but I have quite high expectations of myself. And because I have high expectations of myself, I tend to think, well, everyone's like me. Surely they would think like this and do this and act like that. And as I've got older, I've realised, no, not happening. But if you try to kind of be kind to yourself, and if you decide upon a goal or have an expectation, have the conversation with yourself and ask yourself, well, is that really likely? Is that possible? Is that going to set you up for disappointment? And then you might want to just bring it down a little bit and bring it back into reality rather than a floaty dream that's just crazy big and then ends up making you feel disappointed because it's so overwhelming that you don't feel you've got everything that you need to work towards it. Listen to empowering music. I have my 1990s go-to tracks. That kind of pushes me, motivates me, lifts my mood, fills me with a different kind of energy. So maybe get yourself a soundtrack or a playlist that you listen to that really helps you. Number 13, take deep breaths. Breathing deeply is actually very healing and it's very cleansing, and it calms down your nervous system. And when your nervous system calms down, your heart rate calms down, your bodily fight or flight calms down, and then you can process what's going on rather than going into panic mode and not handling things as well as you could. So deep breaths, people don't just go take a deep breath for no reason. There is a science behind taking deep breaths, okay? Number 14, take some inspired action. When you're feeling really overwhelmed and you're looking at a big picture, break it down into very small little bite-sized tasks that you can do, and that definitely works for me. Occasionally I think, oh, I'm going to launch a program, I'm going to do this, and then I go, oh my god, can I do it? Oh my god, that's beyond me. But then I break it down into the little tasks and they are much more achievable for me. Get my words out, Eleanor. Number 15, and the last point on this, is practice mindfulness in your day-to-day life. The more you practice being in the moment, the happier and the more joyful you will feel. Now, this is something that I am actually working on at the moment. So I'll give you an example of mindfulness that I'm using. I am addicted to my phone, okay? I'm trying to build a business, I'm running another business, I have pings going on all day, and I'm trying to make sure that when I'm with somebody else, I don't look at my phone. If I'm having a coffee with a friend, if I'm having my tea with my husband, if I'm watching a film with him, or we're going out for a walk, I put my phone away, okay? So for me, that's me being mindful, being in the moment, enjoying the moment. And I know that when I watch like pop concerts on the telly, everyone's trying to video everything. And actually they're so busy videoing, they're not absorbing the joy, the fun, the excitement, the adrenaline, the emotion of the moment, because we're trying to capture it. And you can't capture your emotions on a video. You have to be there in the present, in the now, to feel them. So the more you can try to do that in your day, the better you will feel. So I hope that you have enjoyed today. So we've just been through 15 strategies to help you build resilience, and this is the final part of the resilience conversation that we've been having over the last few weeks. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Tune in next Monday and we will be talking about something completely different. Have a fantastic week and I'll see you soon.